And we start the noon with a traffic alert. Good news for you this hour. Pena Boulevard is back open. It was shut down outbound at Tower Road because of a multi-vehicle crash. Denver police first tweeted about it around 10:30 this morning. There are still some residual delays in the area on Pena, so if you're getting ready to leave the airport, if that's part of your normal drive this lunch hour, just something to keep in mind. And we want to take a look now at the FlightAware Misery map for Denver International Airport. All planes were grounded until 11 o'clock this morning or so because of that snow we got. According to FlightAware, there are about 459 delays and 8 cancellations at DIA. And we've got to look at Boulder from this morning. This was around 8:30. They got hit really hard with some snow up there. We want to take a look from the same camera right now. Nice and quiet. Flags moving just a little bit in the breeze, but such a different look. That snow was a really quick hit, really caused some messes for us across the area. Taking a live look just outside of our studio at this hour where things aren't looking bad. We're really just seeing a general wetness on the roads right now. There was a moment where things were getting really slushy, but again, things actually look to be a little bit better there. Now we're looking at a time lapse from this morning. You can see that snow started around 9 o'clock and check it out. The camera gets totally covered within about 10 minutes. Again, it was a really quick hit. Chris is going to talk a little bit more about that here in a moment. We do want to take another live look at the high country, still coming down up there, looking low visibility and pretty cold. Even if if you could feel a temperature, it's looking cold up there by the Loveland ski area and Eisenhower Johnson Tunnel. Our man in the mountains, Matt Renew, was in Breck this morning. They were getting hit with a lot of snow and a nice little coating on the roads there. Chris Bianchi with us this noon yet again to kind of break it down because it was a quick hit and it did a lot more damage than we thought it would, Chris, initially.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you the snowfall totals in just a second. That was the loudest 1 to 2 inches of snow that I think we've seen in a long time for us in the Denver area. And by the way, little meteorologist behind the scenes here. We're also one of the maybe frustrations I have sometimes as a meteorologist is a lot of people will always ask me before a snowstorm, how much snow is going to fall at my house, right? This is an example of why 1 to 2 inches worth of snowfall might not sound like a lot, but it can have a lot higher impact. So when it falls during a morning commute, like it did this morning, that can have way more of an impact. But what we had this morning was a snow squall. So what exactly is a snow squall? We've been throwing that term around. A lot of you going, wait, Chris, what are you talking about? What is this snow squall thing you're talking about? It's a burst of snow and wind. So think about a thunderstorm in snow version. That's basically the equivalent of it, right? And in fact, what caused the snow this morning is the same kind of meteorological process that creates thunderstorms in the summer. So it's a burst of snow and wind, lasts 30 to 60 minutes, and it could create blizzard-like conditions. We had less than a quarter-mile visibility at the airport with this morning, and it makes travel really, really difficult. And this, by the way, was the first ever snow squall warning ever issued for Denver. Snow squall warnings came into place about 5 years ago. Picked about 2 inches of snow officially at the airport. Brings us up, by the way, to about 14 inches so far this month, 2 inches at Castle Rock. But again, 1 to 2 inches of snow. If I would tell you we were going to get only 1 to 2 inches of snow, you probably would have been like, what's the big deal? The fact that it happened so quickly and during a commute, that's what made that so impactful. The snow ends today. We're done with the worst of the snow here in the metro area. There's that heavy snow continuing for us here across the eastern plains. This also down here into Lyman, I-70 on east, a difficult drive. Down here into southern Colorado, notice that. That is some thunder snow there in the San Luis Valley. And that snow only going to continue across southern Colorado as we head over the next couple of hours. But then tonight, we get the wind. I know you don't want the wind, but we get the wind tonight. Details on that coming up in my full forecast.
Chris, thank you so much. Right now, we are taking a live look outside along I-70 in the Georgetown area, just about not too far from 15th Street this hour. Now, we were dealing with a big headache up in this area, really from the metro to the mountains because of the conditions Chris was just talking about. I-70 in Georgetown actually just reopened in the last 15 minutes. It was closed because of a crash and dangerous conditions, all because of that snow squall that Chris Bianchi was just talking about. And meteorologist Corey Rappenhagen was actually in Georgetown when that all went down. Corey, the interstate just reopened. What are conditions like right now?
Yeah, well, right now it's just a little bit of snow. It was really that main event was that snow squall that went through. it was the same front that caused the squall in Denver that also caused other squalls in the mountains, and we got hit pretty hard with that here in the mountains. Now, they come on very intense, very quickly, and the visibility drops to near zero very quickly. So it's kind of like a mini blizzard, just kind of a short-lived blizzard, and that really caused a mess out here on I-70. Like you mentioned, they just opened this back up about 15 minutes ago, but there was a big crash they had to clean up here eastbound I-70 just past Georgetown, and it really was impactful for there a little while. I talked to a witness, not of the crash, but of the snow squall, and he said that the conditions were just light snow with very little snow sticking to the interstate, and 1 second later, it was a complete all-out whiteout blizzard conditions. Now these cars, you can see, were kind of moving at a higher rate of speed. They were probably completely caught off guard by that snow squall. I counted about 6 vehicles altogether. You can see some pretty hard impacts to the guard rails and those support cables in the median. But believe it or not, the Colorado State Patrol is telling me that there are no major injuries involved in this accident. So good thing there. So now we're here in Georgetown, just light snow for the moment. We could probably expect light to moderate snow throughout the rest of the day here in this part of the mountains, especially Georgetown. So little lower impact there than those snow squalls. But now the wind is starting to kick in, and we'll probably see that wind pretty intense from about Georgetown down to the base of the foothills as we go through the night. So Erica, we went from watching for snow squalls, and now we'll watch for ground blizzards when the wind picks the snow up off the ground and creates zero visibility as well.
Corey, the ever-changing Colorado weather, my goodness. Just glad for now at least I-70 is back open. We know you'll be keeping a close eye on the conditions the rest of the day. Thank you so much. The city is opening their severe weather shelters today because of the cold and the snow. Tonight at 6, the McNichols building on Colfax will be open. It will stay open through 9 o'clock tomorrow. The city says those experiencing homelessness should just walk up to find shelter. The city is also expanding capacity at its front door shelters, including the Lawrence Street Community Center and the Samaritan House. Today, Colorado's Division of Gaming investigator, Chrystal Lloyd, is due in court. She was involved in the death of Christian Glass back in June of 2022. She is charged with failure to intervene to stop the shooting. It is a Class 1 misdemeanor, which carries a sentence of up to a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. That hearing is expected to start at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Happening right now, voters in Michigan are casting their ballots in the presidential primary. This is the first year voters have had the option to vote early in person in a statewide election. President Biden and former President Donald Trump are looking to repeat their past Michigan primary victories. Nikki Haley will be in Colorado in just over an hour. The doors open for the rally today at 12:30, and she's expected to arrive by 1:30. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez reports from Wings Over the Rockies.
So Nikki Haley will be making a stop here in Colorado. Her event will start at 1:30 this afternoon, and doors will open to the public in just a couple of minutes. So this stop here to Colorado comes just days after losing her home state, South Carolina, and not winning a single primary. Former President Donald Trump continues to dominate every contest, and the Colorado GOP has already endorsed Trump, calling him the likely Republican nominee. Former President Donald Trump's eligibility is still up in the air amid legal efforts to have him removed from the Colorado's ballot. The Secretary of State's office says unless the Supreme Court rules against Trump before the primary, votes for him will still be counted.
I've been very busy fighting and taking the bullets, taking the arrows. I'm taking them for you, and I'm so honored to take them. You have no idea. I'm being indicted for you, as I say.
Donald Trump is turning the Republican Party into his own playpen, where it's all about him. And the RNC is being turned into the fact this is a slush fund for his legal fees.
Colorado's primary is next Tuesday. That's going to be March 5th, along with dozens of other states. And just a quick heads up, it is too late to mail in your ballot, but you can still drop it off or you can vote in person. Again, that's going to happen next Tuesday on Election Day, and you'll have until 7 p.m. that night. For now, I'm in Centennial. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.